Living Young Country Girl, and I am here today to share with you a little update on what's going on in our neck of the woods. So, a little something that you guys may have seen if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, is that we have an exciting change that has happened to our schedule here coming up. We are not going to be going to Disney World this winter because it just didn't fit into our schedule and into our budget, so we had to cancel the trip. I know, bummer, but don't get too sad for us because we found something even better to do, and that is we are going to go to, drumroll, Disney Tokyo. Okay, you guys, I can't believe we get to do this. I am so excited. It is definitely something we had on our bucket list. We literally were talking at that timeshare presentation. If you followed our channel, you saw we went to that a few months ago in San Diego. And he asked us, one of the things was, if there were 5 things you could do, like on your bucket list, what would they be? And I was like, really? We've done so many things that there's not a lot of things on there. And I was like, I do want to go to Disney Tokyo. That's one of them. And then it was literally like really grasping to get some of the other things, you know. I'm like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But this was one that we really wanted to do. And it was funny because he was like, well, when's that going to happen? That's, you know, I mean, like, is it really going to happen in the next 5 years? Like, do you think you could actually do all these things in 5 years? And I'm like, yeah, we could. If we wanted to, we could. Like, we can make it happen. We've done this before. Like, you know what I mean? We can make it happen. If you want to make something happen, if you have a dream, you can do it. I mean, my husband and I spent 3 weeks backpacking in Europe. Airfare, hotel accommodations, well, we camped a lot of it, but beautiful campgrounds, rented a car, had our Euro passes, did all of our food, all of our entrances to parks, everything for under $3,000 for 3 weeks, okay? So it is so doable. Yes, you do have to do some research and you have to plan accordingly, but we loved it. We were eating steak dinners. It wasn't like we were scrounging. Like, we were eating steak dinners, staying at these beautiful campgrounds that had like water slides and pools, canoeing down the river. It was incredible, like incredible. And like I said, we actually had a $3,000 budget and we came home with money to spare. So my whole point is, if there's something you want to do it. Don't keep waiting and do it. And lately, that's really been on my heart a lot. If you guys, again, follow the channel, you know, with the RV, I was like, we've only got 18 summers with our kids. We need to take advantage of each and every single one of those. My daughter's 11 already, so we only have 7 left with her. And I want to make sure that we're making lifetime memories. We go to Disneyland a lot, but this last trip, it felt like our kids just weren't appreciating it. It wasn't as exciting. It was becoming almost like a routine thing, and it wasn't becoming a memory. It was just like, oh, we're going again, like kind of deal. So I really wanted to make sure that when they're looking back on life and they go, they're not going to remember what toy we got them for their birthday, but they will remember these adventures that we take them on. Whether it's just a small camping trip. I mean, it could be camping in your backyard. It could be whatever it is, just making memories together. So that's really been heavy on my heart lately. And then unfortunately, one of my husband's coworkers, you know, he has a family, young gentleman, younger than my husband, you know, has kids, and just found out he has like 2 months to live. And like, with this already being on my heart, like when I hear that stuff, I'm just like, we can't wait. We need to make these things happen. And honestly, my husband was going with us to Disney World because it made us happy. He really didn't want to go. He was like, my mom used to live in Florida. I have no really desire to go to Disney World. It's like Disneyland. I know it's totally different, but you know what I mean? It's still, you're in the United States. It's not that big of a deal. You know, he wasn't that excited. We've been to Disney World before. He wasn't that excited. So, and he kept saying, it just seems like it's costing so much money just to go to the East Coast. Like, why? So it was one of those things where he was originally just not really big on the idea of going and just going more or less to make us happy. But we were talking about wanting to go international. Like, we should go to Tokyo Disney, or we should go somewhere else, or Shanghai Disney. And we looked at a couple different options. It just, with everything we would need, and I was really nervous about traveling to China for the first time with our kids as their first international adventure. So I was just not comfortable with that, because we looked at Shanghai and we're like, well, we could do Shanghai, but you know, Tokyo airfare is like real expensive. So anyways, we decided to change it up, and I was literally watching another YouTuber. I think his name is Tim Tracker, something like that. He usually does Walt Disney World videos, and he posted, and it was about Tokyo, and it was a while ago. It wasn't like recent that he went. Well, it was in May, but you know, he was posting it, and it popped up in my feed, and so I started watching it. And he was talking about, first I watched their video on when they went, and then I watched their planning video. And he was saying that they live, you know, in Florida, and that they saw airfare out of LA for like $500. So that got me thinking, if we could get airfare for $500, we could probably make this happen. And so I started researching more and more, started watching like some more videos, just getting more excited, really wanting it to happen. And so that was on Monday morning. Literally, I got up out of bed and I was checking my phone, and there were some YouTube messages. So I started replying to them, and then this popped up in my feed. And by Tuesday night, I think it was, we were booking airfare to go. So I spent pretty much all Monday and Tuesday. Maybe it wasn't. It was, I think by Wednesday night, we ended up booking airfare to go. Either way, it was within that week, within a couple days. So I literally started researching. I found airfare out of LA for a really reasonable price. And I was like super excited because I'm like, we can make this happen, you know? And then I realized that we still, you know, we had to find out how to get to LA. We are about 11 hours away from LA, so we're not really close. But at the same time, it is drivable. I looked at all different airfares, like different ways you could do it. And I could not find anything under like $600, $700 for us to drive there. So normally with my vehicle, it takes about $400 in gas. So I was like, okay, or about $300. I don't know. It depends on gas prices, between $300 and $400 to drive my vehicle. So I was kind of like, well, I don't want to take my vehicle because that's $400. And then you got to figure, you know, parking a vehicle for a week and all this stuff. So I'm like, you're looking at $600 anyways. We'll probably just fly out there. So we ended up buying on Monday or Tuesday. We ended up buying carry-on luggage for all of us because we were that convinced that we were going to go. And it ended up being where, since we all bought carry-on luggage, and our original thought was maybe we could find Southwest really cheap and just, you know, take a $59 airfare or whatever to that. I was like, we'll just go ahead and we'll just, you know, do that. And we have carry-on luggage. We'll fly into LA and then we'll switch and we'll fly. It's kind of funny because the gentleman on the one show said that, you know, he wasn't going to fly Air China because he'd heard a lot of bad reviews about it. And so he was looking for something different, was going to spend a little more money to not fly Air China because it had bad reviews, which my husband and I had flown Air China before. We used to fly to Hong Kong about every 2 to 3 months for his work. And we'd spend about a week there and then we'd come home, and we flew Air China. We flew Cathay Pacific most of the time. And both of those, I think we flew Korean Air a couple times, but both of those were fine. Like Cathay Pacific is definitely a step up. But that's not to say that China Air was worse. I mean, it was fine for us. And it was kind of funny because then I saw online that they had just like crashed. And I was like, oh my gosh. But hey, maybe that's good, right? I mean, they can't have too many in a year. But anyways, so I was like, I'm fine flying China Air. We've flown it before and it was fine. It wasn't, you know, miserable, you know. Maybe they upgraded their seats and stuff like that, which were like, there's 4 of us, there was only 2 of them. We're not upgrading our seats, we're keeping it, you know, economy. So we ended up booking the airfare from Los Angeles to Tokyo, and it's between $450 and $500. I can't remember exactly, but for all of our airfare, I don't remember exactly what, I think it was $458 a person. Something like that. But still, under $500 to fly from LA to Tokyo. We were going to be spending about $340 to fly from where we live to, Orlando, Florida. So it really was like a major difference. I'm just like, okay, so now we're flying from, you know, LAX to Tokyo for like $100 more than we were going to fly to Disney World. Crazy. So then I was like, okay, we got to make arrangements for, you know, getting to LA. And so I looked again at Southwest, couldn't find anything reasonable or that would get in time for us to catch our like transfer. So my husband's like, let's just take my car. My car gets great gas mileage. $200 round trip with my car. And since we're doing carry-ons, we're not packing a ton. It's not like we're going to Disneyland with a suitcase and all of the snacks and food and stuff that we normally pack. We can't do any of that. So let's just take my car. We can get down there for cheap and see if you can find a hotel for cheap and parking for cheap. So I was like, okay, went online, found a hotel for cheap, ended up being able to get, a good rate for a hotel, found that, again, searched for parking, found the same hotel. We're staying at a Marriott hotel, and we found parking. So the hotel was like $120 for the night. Parking was $6 a day. I had to go through a third party company to get that price, because when I called the hotel, they wouldn't do the $6. And I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. I found it on a third party company that's going to do $6 a day to park in your structure. I'm trying to see if you guys would do that, and you don't want to do it, then you're going to obviously pay these other people, whatever, you know what I mean? But we ended up being able to park our vehicle at the Marriott. We're going to be staying at the Marriott. It has a free shuttle in the morning to the airport. So we literally we'll drive out the day before, stay the night, get up in the morning. We have like an 11 o'clock flight. So we'll, be able to get up, have breakfast, and then go to the hotel, go to the airport and check in for our flight. Okay. And then coming home, we're not going to stay the night because we get in early enough that we can drive home within that time. I think it's actually like a 9.5 hour drive, I think, to LAX from our place. So depending on traffic. So that's what we're doing. We're going to drive up to LA. We're going to catch our flight and we're going to go. Now we found hotel at Tokyo Bay, which had higher ratings even than like the Hilton and stuff in Tokyo by Disney. It had higher ratings than the Hilton, which everybody was recommending going to the Hilton. And it has a free shuttle to Disney Park. And for 9 days, it's going to be $1,700. So for 9 days, we're paying $1,700 to stay in this nice hotel. Has a free shuttle to Disneyland. Hold on. Sorry about that. The dogs are going crazy barking at something outside. So anyways, we ended up being able to stay at this hotel with the free shuttle and everything for $1,700. And then the tickets to the park for 6 days is around $700 for all four of us. So the airfare costs a little more, but then the tickets are a lot less. And then we're going to do 3 days at Disney and 2 days exploring Tokyo. And then if we want more time exploring Tokyo, we can add another day, or we can go back to Disney for 3 days. So we kind of are breaking it up, and we're doing Disney during the week, and then the weekend will be in Tokyo, which I know some people probably like, that's crazy. It's going to be more crowded. Everybody's off. But we love to like immerse ourselves in the culture when we go somewhere. And so this way we really will, because we'll be with the people like on their days off doing what they do. You know what I mean? Like we want to go to like the Harajuku market and, just all the famous places like around Tokyo. I know in 2 days we probably won't be able to get everything done, but I really don't think this will be our last time going now that we know how doable it is. So hopefully we'll be able to get back there and do it again. But it's really been an exciting adventure, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I will definitely go into a lot more detail as far as like how we planned everything out and break down the exact cost and everything as we go along our trip, because I know that there's going to be like different things, shuttles to the hotel and just different things that we're going to be, incorporating into the budget. And so as our travels go along, I'm going to be taking notes on all of these things and sharing them with you guys when I get back, so you guys can have a real detailed itinerary on what we did and what it cost and how we made it work, as well as I will definitely be sharing with you guys vlogs on, Disney Tokyo, Disney Sea, and just whatever we experience in Tokyo. And I'm so excited to be doing this and sharing it with you guys. If you guys have been to Disney Tokyo, I'd love to hear your tips and advice. Or if you've been to Tokyo and you think there's someplace really amazing that we should check out, please comment below and let me know, because I am so excited. I was telling my family today, I'm working from the airport to the hotel. And then I know once we get there in the Disney stand, that's, free shuttle. But right now I'm like researching just airport to hotel, what we need to do to get from there to there. And then I'll work on, once we get that done, on the 2 days that we have in Tokyo, what we need to, what we want to see and how to plan it out accordingly, and what, transportation we'll need and what lines and stuff we'll need. So I'm super excited. I love this kind of stuff. I love researching and diving into it. When we've gone to Europe, we've always used the Rick Steves books, which I love to pieces because they are laid out so well and done on a budget. If you're looking at going to Europe on a budget or wherever Rick Steves has a book for, get his book because it's incredible. It has so many great tips. I wish there was one for Tokyo, but I'm sure there's other ones out there. So if you have a guidebook that you have used when you've traveled, I would love, love, love for you guys to share it in the comments below, because this is a whole new area for us. We've done, like I said, we've done Hong Kong and we've done Europe, but this will be a new one for us going to Tokyo. So we're super excited. We definitely want to, like I said, check out the Harajuku. My son's super into Pokemon, so he's really excited about that. But yeah, we're gonna have fun, and I can't wait to take you guys along. So that's my little blog post update on what's going on, and I can't wait to share it all with you guys. So we'll see you guys all later. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye.